Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the founder of a very unique community of powerful women who lift as they climb. Her journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team. And the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, unfortunately, in many workplaces, the old boys club still exists. And to shatter that and to break through that glass ceiling, many women need to lift as they climb. Somebody who knows something about that, Krista Medlock. She is a brand strategist, speaker, and business consultant. And now my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me here.
Yes. Well, I'm so excited to talk about the community you've built. But let's get some background first. How did you get here?
Yeah. Well, I've had a long career in brand and marketing strategy, and I had a special heart for women-owned business, and I would do brand activations in my spare time for women-owned businesses. And it started off as the Girl Cave event, and now it's our community, the Girl Cave.
And I love the name Girl Cave. I mean, we think about a man cave, so tell us the origin of Girl Cave.
Yeah, well, that is the place where we kind of incubate and we become our best selves, and it's a place where women can come together and collaborate and have special moments together and experience sisterhood. So when people hear the name the Girl Cave, it automatically has a special place in women's hearts. They're like, oh wow, I belong there. So
yes,
yeah.
And you tackle some serious subjects in this group, including we have a good friend, a mutual friend. We're going to put a video up. It was a Zoom call. As I was preparing for this morning. I saw a friend, and she talked about her battle with cancer, and so you're dealing with some really serious stuff.
Yeah, real life. I mean, we like to say that we're an authentic community where women can be themselves, they can share their testimonies, they can learn from each other, and they can bear it all together. So. And
you have motivational speakers come in, and so tell us, where do you see all this going?
Well, I mean, I would say that we have a national and even global presence. I mean, we're doing some pretty progressive things with regards to media outreach and building an empowered women community. And we'll be starting a show, hopefully soon, The Girl Cave, where we can talk about these issues on a broader level. And we'll also be creating a technology that's very similar like Facebook. So coming soon, there's a lot of cool things that we're working on.
And you're very popular as a guest on many podcasts. We're going to put up some video of you on a podcast. This is a mutual friend.
Yes.
You must love doing these kinds of things.
I do. Before I wouldn't share my voice because it really is about the women in the community. But I think people are starting to understand the journey as a women-owned business who want to help other women. So it's just kind of a testimony rolling out. On its own. It's kind of becoming its own testimony for other women that are going to be in our community. So,
and I think your timing is perfect because especially during the pandemic, we saw so many women leave the workforce because they had to suddenly choose between family and work. Yeah. I mean, are those some of the subjects that you get into?
Absolutely. I think, yes, I think women are more empowered now and feel a little bit more comfortable in stepping out of their comfort zone. So it's all the other things that keep them from accomplishing their dreams. How do you manage children? How do you manage getting more skill set to drive a business and grow a business and sustain a business? So the big toe is in the pond, but they're looking for more ways to step fully into purpose.
Sure. And one of the things I loved about watching that Zoom call, because I watched the whole thing, is it wasn't the Krista Medlock show. It was you really share the spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about them. I want this community to be something different, not to highlight or indict any other women's group, but it really needs to be about the community, and everyday women get an opportunity to share their voice and testimony. So while I do like to do these things too, and it's great that I can advocate for what we're doing, the primary speakers and thought leaders are going to be the women in our community.
Talk about the importance of having a strong female mentor in your life. Did you have one in your life?
I have to say I've had several. I've had I remember a 13-year-old mentor who basically told me I was on a path to destruction because I was such a smarty to my mom, and she gave me a talking to, let me just say that. But I've had career mentors. I don't think that, especially this day and age, that you can truly build the confidence and the grit without having someone to bounce your inner thoughts. And I mean someone who you can truly be vulnerable to and with. And so it's an essential. If you don't do anything else, you have to have an advocate for you and a champion for what you want to do in your dreams. And
I mean, it's okay to be competitive in the workplace, but we've both seen situations where women will tear each other down, and that can't happen.
Yeah, no, it can't. I mean, bullying is out. Bullying is out. And so any community that's focused on just allowing women to be who they are authentically and speak their truth and speak their voice, we collaborate with other women's groups that are similar to us, not quite exact, but we're in the spirit of we're all in this together. We could have so much of a broader reach if we collaborated. And so the spirit of that in terms of how we strategically position ourselves also sends the message that it's okay for women to collaborate and connect.
Sure.
And
Krista is a very talented and very popular speaker. We've got a graphic from, I think it was a recent speech. Tell us about what you like to speak about.
Well, I would say my topic is, and don't hold me to it because my life evolves, but is in the meantime. That I call that a place where we kind of get lost in the everyday and we forget our purpose. We get kind of off the beaten path, and oftentimes we let challenges and disappointment and things like that inhibit us from moving forward. So we stay complacent and we don't actually move forward in life and move forward in our dreams and purpose. So I talk a lot about ways to kind of circumvent that and embrace the in the meantime, because there's a meaning in the meantime, right? There's something special and important, and that's where you get your best growth, your best breakthroughs. And so I kind of show them my journey, what I call my in the meantimes, and times where I felt like I couldn't achieve my goals because I was stuck. And how do we get out of that and move forward to success?
Yes.
So
let's talk about stress. I mean, and stress is agnostic. It doesn't recognize male versus female, but there are a lot of women under a tremendous amount of stress right now. Tell us how your community addresses that.
Yeah. I'm going to be a little bit progressive in this, and that I think stress is a direct correlation with kind of an identity crisis, because when you're rooted in who you are and you're rooted in your decision making, oftentimes you don't flex and move and change and are affected, if you will, by things that come your way. You're usually more powerful in terms of making decisions on how to handle. It doesn't mean that stressors don't come for you. It just means that when you're rooted in who you are, you're able to handle it in conviction.
Sure.
So I think we talk a lot about identity and being empowered in who you are and empowered in your decision making and empowered in your path.
Sure. Let's talk about identity, because I know a lot of women who are just really wrapped up in their kids, and there's nothing wrong with that, or they're wrapped up in their work and it defines them. But any kind of setback career-wise, and it's now devastating because that you were that person. You've been a very successful entrepreneur. Talk about the dangers of being too wrapped up in the role that you've anointed yourself.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to discount experiencing that. I do think that every challenge, every setback we go through, nothing is wasted. So if you take time to reflect and spend time with yourself, because I do believe people need their time with themselves to really get through the clutter of outside world, you'll find that there again is a polishing and a refining in every moment. And so if you can stay grounded in understanding this is happening for your good, and always keep that positive outlook, be grateful for all the lessons, because you are that much better as a person, as you move past those situations. So that would be my lesson, is nothing is wasted. So even in those worst moments, know that there is something even better to elevate you, right around the corner.
I love it. I can tell that you're passionate about this, and this is something that God put on your heart. And I'm so glad that that you're leading this mission and ministry, if you will.
Thank you.
So, in the little time we have left, just talk to the female viewer right now who is thinking, "Man, I think maybe I found my club."
Yeah. I hope you found your club. I mean, we're very, very proud at what we're cultivating, and we're learning and building our wings as we grow up. Go up as well. If you want to be a part of a group that is inviting, we do events and conferences and summits, and we connect and we collaborate and we build opportunities for women to reach their dreams. So that's really what I invite every woman who's watching to just come and be a part. I guarantee you, I will say this, at the very least, you'll have some new best friends, and you'll even have some new perspective on maybe what's your next new dream. So we definitely are fire starters in our group. So
I love it. And
Yeah.
there's two ways you can get plugged in. We'll start with the Facebook page, and we're going to put that up on the screen, and you can freeze that and contact them through Facebook. And then there's a second way to get a hold of that, and I want you to go ahead and tell that.
Yeah. Well, we are building some great things, so we want you to be early on the wait list for some new digital products that the Girl Cave is going to be building within our community. So you can text GC at 214-310-0989. Text GC 214-310-0989, and you'll get a text message that directs you to some of our other products. So
Outstanding. You've been an amazing guest. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
thank you for having me.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.